Hello, everyone. My name is Tom Miller, and I'm the founder of Leaders Building Leaders. And I'm here to teach you quickly on how I use Stephen Covey's 4 quadrants to make sure that each day is more productive than the day prior. And I'm constantly focusing on what's most important to our organization's success and our clients. So what I do each day is I spend about 15 minutes creating a list. I am a list guy. I make a list of to-dos, whether it's small rocks, big rocks, anything that's on my mind. Because David Allen has taught me in his book, Getting Things Done, there's a reason, your brain is like the RAM access, on a computer, right? If you keep on keeping things in your brain won't function as it should. So the more things you have in your brain, just like the more things you have on the desktop of your computer, the slower that your computer will run. We've all had that experience. So I try to write everything down. So you will constantly find me with Post-its and index cards and everything just kind of jammed in one place, because these are all of the items that I've got to get out of my head on a piece of paper so I remember to calendar them and do them. So each day I write anything on my brain. I take my list from the day prior. And to help me, I put my to-do items in 4 quadrants, because sometimes my list may have 40 things on it, and there's no way I can accomplish all 40 in one day. So what I want to focus on is what's the most important do right now, and what's the most important to the organization's success. And then start to move things that either I should not be able to do or that I can give someone else the authority to follow through on. So let me give you an example of a few of these. You've got your sheet. So if you've downloaded your sheet that we have for you, you'll see we've got 4 quadrants. So your top left quadrant is urgent. Your top right quadrant, so this is quadrant 1, is your urgent and important. And your quadrant 2 is not urgent but important. Your quadrant 3 is not important but urgent. And quadrant 4 is your not important, not urgent. Okay? So I take my to-do list and I start going through. Now, one thing, we've got some promotional emails that we want to do. As much as I would love them to go out right now, I'm not necessarily ready to do them, but they are important. So promo email. And what I might do is I might put a date next to it. When do I want to have that done, so I can calendar that and make sure I get it done by then. So I'm going to say by this weekend. So that would be 11/6. All right. The next thing on my list is renewal docs. We're helping a couple of schools get through the renewals, and so we've got some meetings. That's very urgent and important. So I'm going to put over here renewal docs. So that's my quadrant 1. That means that this should be one of the first and only things that I focus on today. All right. My next one is establishing my plan. I'm traveling soon for a business trip. It's pretty important. I wouldn't say it's necessarily urgent, but it's pretty darn close. It's kind of here on the line, but it's not also necessarily something that I need to do. I could ask someone to do that. So the urgency, but not necessarily important in achieving our mission. I'm going to put this down here. Trip itinerary. Okay, so that's in my quadrant 3. So that's urgent, but not necessarily important in a sense that I have to do it. Someone else can book things, for me. I just need to be able to give them the information that they need. All right. We are doing some videos. This is one of them. So this video needs to be uploaded. Again, urgent because it's due by this Friday, but not important in the sense that I don't have to necessarily do it. So I'm going to put here upload videos. And I can actually put maybe the person's name next to it that I'm going to do. Right? You can actually list that. Who am I going to delegate that to? So far I've got one big item in my urgent. I've got a item in my 2, and I don't have anything in my 4 right now. Okay, so going through this, I got about 10 more items here. I've got some emails to send. I've got a proposal to create. So the proposal is very, very important to our organization, but not necessarily urgent right now. So I'm going to put the proposal over here, but I'm going to give myself a deadline. Today is November 2nd, so I want to make sure that I have an outline done this by the 4th. So so the next day when I look at it, this is probably going to be moving over to here. You want to spend most of your time working in quadrant 2. So nothing ever really becomes super urgent, to you. Sometimes things come up, last minute that you have to address as soon as possible. So sometimes they get thrown into this urgent box, or maybe it's not important, something you could delegate to someone else. Let's go through two more items. All right. I have, we're getting prepared for the Turkey Bowl. The Turkey Bowl is my favorite time of the year. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. So every Thanksgiving, we play a football game the morning of Thanksgiving in Wilmington, North Carolina. This is going to be our 21st overall Turkey Bowl, but for Turkey Bowl South, it's only Turkey Bowl 10. So the Turkey Bowl is important to me, but it's not necessarily important to my business or to the success. So that's going to come down here. It's urgent in a way where I've got to get some information out, but I don't necessarily have to do all that. And it's a few weeks away. So I'm going to put it over here so I can delegate it out to a couple of people, and maybe I have a few items on there. The most urgent is, we're getting shirts and everything made. So that would be the most urgent. But the second most would be an email for Turkey Bowl, and that's something that I don't have to do. I can definitely ask someone else to do that. So this is just an easy way to use the 4 quadrants. Okay, so think about it in your world, no matter what it be. If you're a school leader, an urgent item that's not important might be a parent phone call. You could delegate that to someone else. Hey, just call this parent, let them know that we've got their message, and is there anything we can immediately do? Okay, what is it, specifically they're looking for? And then come back, to me, and we can decide whether this is urgent, we need to address it now, or not urgent, because customers are very, very important to any business, so they always want to be in the important item. It just doesn't matter how urgent is it that we get to them. Maybe you've got a report due and you've got a deadline. That report should be constantly be sitting in your quadrant 2, right? In some sort of calendar, knowing that you're working towards it. You don't want to be all of a sudden throwing everything into your urgent. If you're constantly living over here and you're urgent and important, you're going to have a lot of stress, and you're not going to have a lot of things that are done well. All right? Because you're doing them all. And that means you're not giving the gift of authority to your team. So if you have any questions about this, what I love the most about this, when you see it and you download it, at the very bottom, it is there's 3 value contacts. Who are the 3 people that I need to reach out to today? Maybe you've got someone who's a prospective client. Maybe someone's a prospective teacher. Maybe they're a prospective partner for you. So who are 3 people that you want to reach out to, and make sure you put that on your list, right? So it might be urgent. I need to make my 3 phone calls. Okay, you my 3 value contacts. The next line is your personal growth focus. What are you doing today? What are you reading today? I've already done my reading for today. I'm reading the 15 laws of growth. I just finished the law of awareness, and because we're hosting a mastermind, and week 2 is what we're in. So we're reading the 2nd law. So every day I wake up, I get my reading in, I do a little bit of filing. I take index cards and I write down any golden nuggets or anything that I underline. So what's your personal growth focus? It keeps you focused on what's most important. Okay. The other aspect, so I talked about value contacts, but there's also leads to reach out to. You could also consider value contacts who are you going to reach out to today in your organization to let them know they're doing a great job? Right? Who are people that you need to see that you need to get in front of? So you can take this as a Word document and change around any way you want, morning or afternoon or however you want to schedule. I will emphasize, don't calendar your entire day. Only calendar about half of your day, because there's going to be things that pop up. And what's going to happen is that you're going to be constantly moving things to the next day on your list, and that's going to frustrate you. So only schedule half of your day to knock out these urgent items. So you need some time for your urgent items, and you need to calendar some time for your 2 items, for your quadrant 2 items. Okay, and then the rest of your day can be used on addressing any issues, maybe making your value contacts, or if you have to, dropping down into your quadrant 3. Right? So thank you so much for listening. I hope this was a great teaching and eye-opening moment for you. Everybody uses a different strategy. The most important part is that you plan your work and you work your plan. Have a great day.